environment and the insecurity in which so many of our neighbours and friends and community and our global community are living under. So I'm just going to take us on a small trip around the world. Since you're in a singing mood, this is a very old Azerbaijani peace song. It's in Farsi or Persian originally, before it pre-exists a place being called Azerbaijan. That's how old it is. And the translation is, wherever you are, we extend our hands to you, we extend peace to you. And we need as much of that as we can get. La, 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 la. Along, feel free. Feeling peaceful, hand extended feelings. Its original language. You can keep dying because I haven't told you how the words go. Asia, Africa, peace, Masuya, Sol, Europa, America, peace, Masuya, Sol, Sia, Zardo, Sepia, peace, Masuya, Sol, Betamada, peace, Masuya, Sol. I first learnt this song at an international peace gathering in Sarajevo, so we sing it in Bosnian a lot during that week, and that sounds like this. Asia, Africa, Asia, Africa, Prussia, miracle, Europa, America, Prussia, miracle. So that's us heading east from here, and we know what's happening east from there is the increased awareness of the nuclear threat that we engage with the world and that the world engages from different places as well. I'm going to sing just a little bit of a Ukrainian lullaby, a snippet. It says, the dream passes by the window and meets sleep by the fence, and the dreamer asks sleep, where should we rest tonight? Where the house is warm, where the baby is small, there we will go and rock the child to sleep. We'll put the cat to purr, and the baby will sleep. And there's a lot of people who aren't able to do that just now, so I'll sing this snippet in solidarity with our Ukrainian comrades. Oi, Haritsan, Kalavika, Adrimata, Kolaplota, Vitaetsa Sandrimoti, Adebuna Nochuvati, Oinakota, Tavokota, Naritinita, Idrimota, Otik Budya Rokotati, Itinonka Budya Spati. And there's a Russian peace song, which I always thought was just one of those silly little songs. Some of you'll have heard Pete Seeger singing. Actually, it goes, Pust всегда будет солнце, пусть всегда будет небо, пусть всегда будет мама, пусть всегда буду я. I emailed the Russian Quaker office office to see if I could find a Russian peace song when the invasion happened, and this was the one they sent back. Said, this is the one you need to sing, because this is banned in Russia at the moment. You can get fined for singing this in public. It means, may there always be sunshine, may there always be blue skies, may there always be mama, may there always be me. That's banned. Пусть всегда будет солнце, пусть всегда будет небо, пусть всегда будет мама, пусть всегда буду я. In the verses they say, soldier, people are afraid of the explosions. However old we become, we will never stop singing and shouting for peace. We will never tire of it. People are afraid of the explosions. And yet their lips still say, Пусть всегда будет солнце, пусть всегда будет небо, пусть всегда будет мама, пусть всегда буду я. And we know as well there's been a huge upsurge in care for people in Ukraine, and as rightly so. And there's this increased hostility towards refugees, and particularly, some offering of welcome to some Ukrainians, and it's a bullshit system, but there we go, is happening, and it just makes all the other refugees that have been trying to come here and to other places for so long because of wars that we have waged. It's just not okay that we just. That we pick and choose. So I'm here to say all refugees are welcome, full stop. Before we have one more rousing chorus of Bella Ciao, I'm just going to sing this song that I know is Palestinian, but the Syrians sing it as well, and it's a song of longing for home. And the translation is, be calm, O sea, so long has been our absence. Take my blessing to the land of our upbringing, to the earth that raised our forebearers. Does the bird still sing that nests in our fig tree? Does my gentle mother still breathe in the scent from our pillow, trying to remember me? Hadi Bahar Hadi, ma fi ghaibna, Wadi Salami Wadi, lillardi li ghabidna, lillardi li ghabidna. Salim Salim Aladi, Borbet Abe Wishdadi, Waduras Furi Shadi, Biya Shai Shadi Nidna, Biya Shai Shadi Nidna. So I say this, these are our comrades all around the world, wherever they come from, wherever they live, wherever we come from, wherever we live. Oh, we are winning, and we are singing. Oh, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Ciao, Ciao. We are singing for liberation, and we will not be denied. One more time, Sano. We are winning, and we are dancing. Oh, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Ciao, Ciao. We are dancing for liberation, and we will not be denied. Thank you so much. I just have to apologise because I have to leave early and I'm not going to get to hear all the speakers, and I just wanted to apologise for that because it's not cool.
And the Penny Sings workout DVD, Working Out to Bella Ciao, will be available by Christmas this year in all good record shops. Thank you so much, Penny.
I forgot to say, it's the Peace Camp's 40th birthday, 11th and 12th. There's going to be big hoolies happening at Fastlane, 11th, 12th of June. And the 19th of June, I'm organising a big sing outside of Dungavel because I think that's the people that need to hear that we have solidarity for them. I'm organising that with Mary Helen's Integration Network, so I'll put info out on that, but come and join us and have a sing and a dance if you can.
She can do that with her hips, and I find that quite difficult. Instead of dancing, I'll just do 70s dancing. Remember 70s dancing? You've got no idea, there's young folk out there, you can never look like you're enjoying yourself. Always keep your face like... Now, our next speaker suddenly all came into focus very sharply, very recently. I'm a Calmac child. Right, I was practically brought up on the Dunoon-Gourock ferries. And there were two wee ferries that time, Juno and Jupiter. Aye, great wee boats, right? And they were coming out of Gourock one night, late one night, one of those quite wild nights in October, and this is when the American Navy base was still there. And an American Navy base, a ship going to the Navy base, a wee Liberty boat, cut right across the ferry's bow, no problem. She executed what I can only describe as a handbrake turn in the middle of the Clyde, whilst the captain gave the United States Navy a mouthful of abuse, which I can only describe as scorched earth, and sent them on their way. Now the reason that they were able to do that with that ferry, and by God they flung her round, but the reason they were able to do that was because they were men that were trained, that knew their boat, that knew how well she could handle, they were experienced, and they were skilled sailors. That is what a ferry needs, that's what all boats need, that's what all ships need. If you start to run ferries and ships with cut-price crew, you end up with full-price disasters. That's what it happens. That is why I am delighted to introduce our next speaker, Brian Reynolds, who joins us from the RMT. Let's look at that.
Good afternoon, comrades. What a pleasure it is to be here today. And I don't know if you know this, but I'm actually the Calmac coordinator for the RMT. So we're all got a few bit about boats and their mishaps. You're not getting any songs from me and you're not getting much poetry, but I'm delighted to say that I can now swear. Not that I'm intending to. Because what I'm here today is to talk about something that will definitely impact on each and every one of us. Our kids and our grandkids, unless we do something about it. And I ask you to cast your mind back to 17th of March this year, a day that a lot of people celebrate St Patrick's Day, and most people were going about their business. I was travelling on a train from Edinburgh to Glasgow, where I got a text message about 7:30 in the morning telling me that there was going to be an announcement made that day by P&O, and we'd just been told that a message had went to every one of their vessels telling them to return to work, to return to port, tie up and await further orders. Now, we didn't think for a minute it was going to be good news, but we never thought for a minute what news was eventually to become a massive story for the Labour and Trade Union movement, because about 10:30 that day, on a pre-recorded Zoom call delivered by a union buster, Andy Good, nearly 800 seafarers were unceremonially sacked and thrown on the scrap heap. The impact on the 800 seafarers was devastating. The impact on their families, devastating. And the impact on their communities, devastating. And I'm sure that every single worker in Britain felt a shiver go down their spine. And if they didn't, they should have done, because that's what's coming our way unless we stop it. What they actually done was broke the law, went into the House of Parliament and says, we didn't care, we'll break the law, we'll pay our way out of this. And you know, at the time I thought, by tea time tonight, the revelations about this will result in some sort of reversal. How wrong could you be? And what they actually done was they tried to pretend that they were giving people a massive amount of money to sign a settlement agreement so that they couldn't take any legal recourse against the company. And in their bullying and harassing way, they gave them 2 weeks to sign a settlement agreement. Well, you know, people are human beings, they've got families, they've got rent to pay, they've got mortgages to pay. And they were forced, the vast majority of them were forced into signing a settlement agreement because it gave them a bit more cash than what you would get at a tribunal. I'm glad to say that not everybody has. And you know, there's some principled people out there. One guy I was talking to in the last few weeks, a guy called John Lansdowne, who has said, no, I'm not taking the money. And he was offered probably around 2 to 3 times what he will be awarded at tribunal. So to turn down that sort of money, you know, it's quite an incredible choice to make. And what also made me think that, you know, we could maybe overturn this decision was that I had never seen a coming together of workers, trade unions and political parties like this in my whole 45 years of trade union membership. Now I know Lothians are looking there thinking that can't be right, he's not that old. But that's the truth. I have never seen a coming together of so many people in Dover, in Hull, in Liverpool, in Larne, in Cairnryan, in Glasgow. It was incredible how all these political parties came together. Absolutely fantastic. And we've got the platform today where we've got Pauline, the new president of the STUC. The STUC's contribution towards helping the seafarers and helping the RMT and Northwest International has been first class, and it has to be commended. And what was more incredible, what was really incredible is that for a microsecond, you actually thought the Tories were on our side as well. You know, you seen, there was actually Tories went to the Port of Dover and stood on our picket lines and stood at the demonstration. They got shot, shifted, chased, but they were there. And then what was seen, the Transport Secretary Grant Sharps condemning the actions. I even think Boris Johnson condemned it. And Grant Sharps wrote a letter to the Chief Executive of P&O, owned by DP World. He actually wrote a letter that not one trade unionist could have wrote better. It was fantastic. But when he was writing it with his right hand, he had his left hand behind his back with his fingers crossed, because it didn't mean a job. And if it did mean anything, they had the chance to make it mean something, because that week there was a motion going through Parliament to bring about the end of fire and rehire. Every single one of these sleazebag Tories abstained for that vote. Every single one of them abstained when they had a chance to do something about it. So the warm words, the crocodile tears for the Tories mean nothing. Meant nothing. No nothing meant to anyone else. But for that microsecond, you actually thought that for once in their life they were going to do something decent and right. But of course, that was never going to happen. So what do we need to do? What do we need to do, comrades? Because we need a change to the legislation, because I'm not going to kid you on. The boats are still not sailing, but they've won. Our people are on the dole. They've brought in exploited labour, and nobody's blaming them. Nobody's blaming them at all. And even when they've tried to bring them at £5 an hour in the last couple of weeks, they've tried to cut their wages again. They've tried to cut their wages again. So how do we go about stopping this? Because it's clear, employment legislation in this country doesn't protect us. The anti-trade union laws, they're draconian, and we need to do something about it. So what do? Well, obviously, every one of our trade unions will be lobbying the Westminster Parliament to try and change employment legislation. We also need to put pressure on the devolved parliaments, through the trade unions, through individuals, to try and bring about change. But I've got a feeling that's not going to be enough. I've got a feeling we're going to fail miserably with that approach. But I'll tell you what approach might have to happen. And this will take courage, it'll take organisation, it'll take conviction. We might need to do what Boris Johnson done, and we might need to do what Peter Methilwaite done. We might have to break the law. We might have to take the law into our own hands and demand that workers get proper rights. Demand that we need. I'm going to be dismissed. Follow the proper procedures, because Peter Methilwaite came out and said, incredibly, what did he say? What was the point of talking to a trade union, because no trade union would ever agree to this? Absolutely scandalous. And when that man had the audacity to this week he spoke at a conference of ship owners from all over the world, and he says, we've been misunderstood. We've been misunderstood. And what's happened here is we've actually saved jobs, because if we didn't make 3 people redundant, we would have had to make a lot more people redundant. They people were not made redundant, they were sacked. And I would ask you all to consider what I'm saying. And I know it's difficult, but somewhere along the line we're going to have to take the law into our own hands to force through the change, to bring about the legislation that protects workers for our generation and generations to come. Solidarity, solidarity.